NSFW, people who signed up for those duck a local MILF websites. What happened? Is there actually an abundance of local MILFs wanting to be ducked? Actually, I can say yes. This does work. You'd be surprised how many want to get out and get some action. What I learned is that the M is for mailmen. After plowing a good several of them, I realized this and requested a refund. So, obviously they're fake. 100% just a scam to try and get your credit card info or charge you money for stuff. Sometimes you can get into the sites without entering information, but most will at some point end up trying to bribe you, won't let you continue without paying. As for the local MILFs, they're either robots which have a programmed conversation, which is really just a few questions and then buy premium to meet with me, or someone who is really invested in getting you to click on the link they sent you so you can meet up and 60 time. Angie really isn't 8 miles away looking for Big D, just a guy with a fake website looking for some dummies. They will also use your email to hand out to other services who will spam you with how women with really unique names like Sarah, Jennifer, Laura want to intercourse. So you now have a constant flow of 6 telemarketing in your mailbox. As a cop, I can tell you, almost all women looking for 6 sites are for prostitution. As a woman, I can tell you, we don't have to advertise on the internet. Seriously, no matter how old, fat, ugly you think a woman is, someone out there is ready to hit it. Yep, a chance to smash is a chance to smash, as a friend of mine used to say. In war times, any hole is a trench, especially in these trying times. People who ducked a local MILF without going through those duck a local MILF websites. How? Have divorced woman with no kids join your workplace, be 10 years younger, hit on her, proceed to smash until her biological clock starts ticking. She finds a better prospect or you get bored. Repeat for next 10 years. You do know that in order to be a MILF, she has to have kids, right? Otherwise, she is just a cougar. Yeah, your dad dropped off your mom and we had a pretty good time. 8/10 would do it again. I mean, it's obvious they are fake. I live in a small town and know most people here don't recognize any of those 100s of different local MILFs. They just redirect you to another site. Same here. Always hoped one of those MILFs was my neighbor's wife, but it was just fake. When the MILF showed up, it was just 3 midgets in a trench coat and they robbed me. I did hook up with a local MILF one time, but it was out of chance and it had nothing to do with those pages, neither any dating app. I just met her through some friends. The moral of the story is that there are local MILFs that want to duck with younger guys. You just have to meet them in the wild. I feel quite accomplished. She had fake boobs and I got to say, they're quite nice. Pretty soft even. 10/10. It was a little weird when I found out I was younger than her son. Yeah. Adult Friend Finder was actually a legit site. Maybe 2 out of 10 profiles were real though. Met the only squirter I've encountered on it. I had success meeting up with a MILF there. 1. Yeah. So not my proudest moment, but here goes. I was deep into a jousting session one night and saw one of these ads. It was something along the lines of meet local mature women in your area. I figured there might actually be local MILFs in my area who want a young guy. Crazier things have happened. It took me to a sign up page where I made a fake account with a made up name and old email address I hadn't used for years, and signed up. It showed a number of MILFs were online and wanted to chat. I proceeded to chat to them, but they were obviously bot scripted and had extremely dead chat. I've literally had better chat from the W302 bots at Rainer Willows. It was that bad. I then ran out of messages and had to buy premium to continue chatting. I think it was a 5.99 one-off payment, which was probably a scam. A week ago I saw that kind of ad when I was looking for a torrent. I signed up for it. They asked couple of my personal informations, name, last name, address, credit, debit card, security code, etc. And once I was done with applying, I received a mail says my local MILF will be at my place in 2 weeks. 1 week left. I'm excited and happy. I'll keep you updated, guys. I haven't because it's a scam. The ads always say they're 3 miles away. 3 miles from me in every direction is a sea, Midland or woodland, so unless the MILF in question is a mermaid I'd like to duck or some kind of witch, then no. People so thirsty in these trying times. I clicked on one of those once in my younger years out of interest and possibly desperation. Sadly no local MILFs wanted to duck that night, but I did meet a lovely MILF a few years later in a bar. Didn't end too greatly though. Got kicked out as I was rounding third. Story time. Met this girl in the bar. Figured she was about early 30s. Didn't really care. We hit it off. A very rare instance for me at the time. And after being a few drinks deep she proposes we go back to her place. Once we get there we start making out and soon enough she's telling me if I go down on her she'll do the same for me. So as I'm under the sea I hear her phone go off and suddenly she goes you have to leave. I ask her why and she basically goes, my daughter's about to be home. Go now. So she grabs my arm motioning me up, throws my shirt at me, and essentially throws me out the back door. She tells me to walk up the neighbor's drive and shuts the door in my face. Nothing too substantial but that was my one and only MILF experience. If it's a real dating site, yeah. Slutty single moms are all about quick hookups. They don't have time for relationships. They work, take care of kids, sleep. They just need to get ducked every so often. God bless sluts. Nope, it's fake. Especially since I live in a rural area. The fact that the ad even came up was a dead giveaway that they must be doing it to anyone who's visiting a website. Especially if they have the same series of pictures and ads popping up whenever you visit porn sites. I believe that's one picture of a MILF used in an ad that's about 2 years old now. I knew I shouldn't have read the answer. Now all hope is lost. I've never clicked, but have always held the faint glimmer of hope that there was, in fact, an abundance of hot MILFs in rural Denmark just waiting for my marriage to fail. Now my day is ruined. Duck you Reddit. If I had unlimited time I'd run this down myself. Just plain curious. I grew up in a town that was so small that when those ads would pop up and say Pamela is 2 miles away I could definitively say that she definitely did not. In hindsight, knowing every person in my hometown probably saved me from a scam or two. At one point the makers of those ads were using Google Street View images and automated photo manipulation to create convincing looking ads with actual houses located near your IP address. Creepy AF. I used to be one of those MILFs. A company hires people to respond to men's messages on fake profiles and you get 20 cents a message. Once made 100 one week. Ended up stopping mostly due to my conscience. No MILFs. Lots of chatbots looking to steal your credit card info and hoping you forget to cancel the charges after the free trial. I had an adult friend finder account for a few months. I must say the site is pretty legit, but the issue is the people. I sent dozens and dozens of messages to a lot of different profiles and I rarely got a response. If you're single, it's very hard to find a duck buddy or casual hookup. Most of the people on there are swingers and want to swap. I had the membership for about 8 months and deleted it after I just got so frustrated and annoyed that I didn't want to deal with it anymore. I know for sure that I had 2 hookups, maybe a third, but I can't remember. I did get to participate in a gangbang though. That was fun. Don't waste your time and energy unless you're a couple that swings. If you're single, just buy a nice pack of tube socks or just hire an escort. I'm curious. They're all fake it seems. But why are there more legitimate meetup sites with genuine people who are interested in meeting up for sex only? Is it a legal or liability thing? People say there's Tinder but that's not exactly sex only. Why isn't there a legitimate sex only site? Yeah, I signed up for ugly fat girls that needed to be ducked too. I was let down when it turned to be a scam. They must have already been taken. Newsflash. If women want strange they don't need a website. Well, before covered anyways. Now that all public meeting places are closed there's a chance they might. If you really want to duck a MILF, borrow a niece or nephew and go to Chuck E. Cheese. Back in my rock bottom days I did check out some of these sites for some sort of human contact. There is a very small amount of genuine sites, but the MILFs on these are nothing like the ones advertised and are more MILFs. Mum, I would never ducking touch with a ducking borrowed barge pole and are probably disease ridden. I saw quite few profiles that said allergic to condoms. That's when I know the duck out of there. Edit. Typo. I'm 16 but I'm not stupid. I worked for one of these companies for a few days. The 3-6 game you can access after upgrading your account didn't actually exist. Anyone who requested a refund got it, keeping the credit card companies from acting against them. 1/3 of the company were content writers. Most dev focus was on the AI to have conversations. I left because I could see the dudes on that place getting defrauded and it made me feel like it. There is an abundance of local MILFs wanting to be ducked, but you can't find them on the internet. You have to go door to door in your neighborhood and sling D like a vacuum cleaner salesman. Apparently I'm a rarity. I once signed up for Snapsext for like $3 for a few day trial. I was young and horny. Not a joke. Within an hour I started chatting with a girl. We met up the next day, ducked and didn't talk for like 3 weeks. When we did it again, I cancelled the membership because it was something like $40 a month. But I actually got to meet and duck a horny local girl. So I recently tried one of those local girls ads and what I found was that to talk to any of them you have to buy coins. Once you buy coins their sole objective is to keep you talking. They will tell you how hot and interesting you are, but if you ever mention meeting up they just simply ignore your question. I saw right through the BS instantly. I worked at one of these companies, an online dating site with cougar in the name. I made the fake profiles. They made money of chat credits. The guys would be chatting with the cougar they thought was in their area, who was also chatting with 10-15 other guys at the same time thinking they were also in the same area. Most of the chatters were actually hot girls, but they were not in your area. The owner and another guy did some chatting at times, so you could have been talking to a dude if you ever went one of these sites. Ashley Madison is run very similar and based out of Canada. I tried to get a job with them before they had the big hack. They always pop up for me. I'm 32, F, and live in the middle of nowhere. At first I was always like, who are these ladies and why do they want to talk to me? Do they know me? How are they 2 miles away? I live in the countryside. I didn't think this kind of thing happened around here. Never any men ones? Shame.